It was a busy 4-race weekend in central Pennsylvania with some interesting subplots. We discussed 2 shows at Lincoln and also 2 new winners to the region in 2025, all on today's edition of the Sprint Car Unlimited 9 at 9. Let's jump in with Saturday night at Lincoln. Ashton Torgerson put a slider on Anthony Macri in turns 1 and 2, battling for the win late in the main event. I don't know if they touched, but Macri got above the cushion, maybe grazed the wall, and eventually spun. Torgerson went on to claim the win, that is, until he rolled across the scales 13 pounds light, which handed the victory over to Aaron Bollinger. Torgerson only had 1 gallon of fuel left in his 28-gallon tank after the 35-lap affair. 2 more gallons, and he makes weight for the $10,000 score. The interesting part is that Shark Racing normally uses a 30-gallon tank, but they pulled out a car from a couple of years ago that Tanner Holmes drove. As for the incident with Macri, the 2 drivers spoke and shook hands after the main event. Problem solved. The following night, Torgerson was back and continued to show speed in a runner-up finish. This time, there was no controversy as he crossed the scales with 55 pounds to spare. But that doesn't mean there wasn't some weirdness on night 2 of the Labor Day duels. During the main event, which rubbered up after about 15 of 35 laps, PA announcer Wayne Harper came over the mic after the yellow was thrown for Danny Dietrich. He stated that it was because Dietrich did a 360 and that he would have to tag the rear. But after 4 or 5 pace laps, Harper stated that the 360 couldn't be confirmed and that Dietrich would get his spot back. Again, my eyes were elsewhere and I didn't see it. Others say they did. Still, I thought I've seen everything in 48 years of watching this sport, but I've never heard of a caution that couldn't be confirmed. To me, this is one of the drawbacks of not having 2 sets of eyes in a flag stand overseeing the action. And needless to say, there were some upset people in the pit area. Port Royal had a pair of shows leading up to this week's Tuscarora 50. Dylan Cisney was back in the Stuart Smith number 27, and he collected the win Saturday night in only his 6th start this season. I'm sure this victory was one of the more satisfying ones in Cisney's career and proved that he could still get it done behind the wheel. On Monday, Brock Zierfoss cracked victory lane for the first time this season. He drove by Chase Dietz and Parker Price Miller to put his name in the Labor Day record books. There were high hopes coming into this season, but it's been a struggle for this team to even lead laps. Now we'll see if Zierfoss can build on it against the high-limit regulars with a lot of money on the line. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Sprint Car Unlimited 9 at 9, and we'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned.